Hello students, welcome to this social science class of history. It's a continuation of chapter 2 from trade to territory. Today's topics are war with the Marathas, the claim to Paramount C, war with Afghanistan, and the Doctrine of Labs. Let's begin with the first topic of today. War with the Marathas. There were 3 Maratha Wars that were fought against the British. The first Anglo-Maratha War was fought between 1775 to 1782 in Pune. The war began with the Treaty of Surat and ended with the Treaty of Salbai. The second Maratha War was fought between 1803 to 1805 in central India, and the third Maratha War was fought between 1817 to 1819 in the modern-day state of Maharashtra and its neighboring areas. So, from the late 18th century, the company sought to curb or put down and eventually destroyed the Maratha power. And with their defeat in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761, the Marathas' dream of ruling from Delhi was completely shattered, and they were divided into many states under different chiefs or sardars belonging to the dynasties such as Scindia, Holkar, Gaikwad, and Bhonsle. These chiefs were held together in a confederacy, which means alliance, under a Peshwa, a principal minister, who became its effective military and administrative head based in Pune. And Mahajdi Scindia and Nana Phadnis were 2 famous Maratha soldiers and statesmen in the late 18th century. The Marathas were put down in a series of wars. In the first war that ended in 1782 with the Treaty of Salbai, there was no clear winner. The second Anglo-Maratha War, which happened in 1803 to 1805, was fought on different fronts, resulting in the British gaining Orissa and the territories north of the Yamuna River, including Agra and Delhi. And finally, the third Anglo-Maratha War of 1817 to 1819 crushed the Maratha power. The Peshwa was removed and sent to Bithur near Kanpur with a pension. The company now had complete control over the territories south of the Vindhyas. The claim to Paramount C. It is clear from the topic itself that from the early 19th century, the company pursued an aggressive policy of territorial expansion. Under Lord Hastings, Governor General from 1813 to 1823, a new policy of Paramount C was initiated. Now, the company claimed that its authority was paramount or above all. Hence, its power was greater than that of Indian states. In order to protect its interests, it was justified in annexing or threatening to annex any Indian kingdom. This view continued to guide later British policies as well. This process, however, did not go unchallenged. For example, when the British tried to annex the small state of Kittur in Karnataka today, Rani Channamma took to arms and led an anti-British resistance movement. She was arrested in 1824 and died in prison in 1829. But Rayanna, a poor chowkidar of Sangoli in Kittur, carried on the resistance. With popular support, he was able to destroy many British camps and records. Finally, he was caught and hanged by the British in 1830. War with Afghanistan. In the late 1830s, the East India Company became worried about Russia. It imagined that Russia might expand across Asia and enter India from the northwest. Driven by this fear, the British now wanted to secure their control over the northwest. They fought a prolonged war with Afghanistan between 1838 and 1842 and established indirect company rule there. Sindh was taken over in 1843. Next in line was Punjab, but the presence of Maharaja Ranjit Singh held back the company. After his death in 1839, two prolonged wars were fought with the Sikh kingdom. Ultimately, in 1849, Punjab was also annexed. The Doctrine of Labs. The Doctrine of Labs was an annexation policy applied by the British East India Company until 1859. According to the doctrine, any Indian princely state under the suzerainty of the British East India Company as a vassal state under the British subsidiary system would have its princely status abolished if the ruler was either manifestly incompetent or died without a male heir. The final wave of annexations occurred under Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. He devised a policy that came to be known as the Doctrine of Labs. The doctrine declared that if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would lapse, that is, become a part of the company territory. One kingdom after another was annexed simply by applying this doctrine. Satara 1848, Sambalpur 1850, Udaipur 1852, Nagpur 1853, and Jhansi 1854. These were the kingdoms that were annexed to the British territory. Finally, in 1856, the company also took over Awadh. This time, the British had an added argument. They said they were obliged by duty to take over Awadh in order to free the people from the misgovernment of the Nawab. Engaged by the humiliating way in which the Nawab was deposed, the people of Awadh joined the great revolt that broke out in 1857. Thank you, students. That's all for today, and have a wonderful day ahead.